Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and to another Transformers review. Today we're going to be taking a look at MFT's Fight Super Mech Life versus Head Warrior Cool One Commander. Yes, this is their, well, it's a minor retool of their Skull or Skull Cruncher, if you're in the West, figure that I have just reviewed. And I think they've done a really good job of this. Basically, if you're not overly familiar with the G1 cartoon, I can't remember which episode it is offhand, but I'll look it up and I'll put it at the bottom of the screen here. The Stunticons manage to get hold of Prime and they pull him apart and they decide to use different parts of his body for different defensive strategies throughout their base. Strategies isn't right. You know what I mean. They turn him into little weapons, basically. And his torso ends up being turned into this alligator that they put down in the sewers. And as far as I'm aware, there's never actually been a figure of that, because it was like, you know, for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes in one G1 episode from, it must have been 1985, I think. But MFT decided to do one, and I think they've done a really good job. So now I'm starting this one in the Alligator mode, because I thought it'd be fun to do the reverse transformation, because I've already reviewed the skull figure. So yeah, let's have a look then, see what he comes with. Well, he comes with a couple of bits that are already on him, but the bits that aren't, he gets one of these. He actually gets 2 of these. The second one is under here, but I'll show you that once we've transformed him. But there's just a gun, really. It's the same as Skull's one, but it's done in this. It's deeper than gunmetal, but it's not quite black. It's sort of an anthracite or something. But it looks really good. Yeah, it's alright. It's good. And obviously he does come with a Headmaster, because, as I said, it is from the same mould. So the actual Headmaster bit, if I can zoom in, come on, they're so dinky. Okay, you get the idea. This one, for some reason, mine's a little bit wibble wobble. I do have the same issue on the feet, but I'll come back to that shortly. So here is the one that we got with Skull on the right. And as you can see, it is the exact same Headmaster from this angle. And obviously on the back it's different, because on this one we have Prime's head and this one we have Skull's head. So you can see there. But the actual front of the Headmaster itself is exactly the same. And I have no problem with that. You know, for the price, I'm fine with that. And they did manage to get a little bit of paint on his face, which is impressive. Articulation for the Headmaster, I mean, you don't get much. It's basically the same as a G1 Headmaster, honestly. His arms will go up. They do move in tandem because they're connected, rather. Pardon me. And you can get him into a sitting pose. So, yeah, like I say, those lower legs are a little bit wibble on mine, but some of that wood varnish will put that right, so not a big issue. And then to transform him, just fold him in half, just like a G1 one. And there's Prime's head. And I like the head sculpt. It's not 100% G1, but it's close enough. It's good enough. It looks alright to me. So let's have a look at... I didn't do the instructions. You also get the instructions. As you can see, this is what he's going to end up looking like when we've transformed him. And yeah, this one, you get the exact same instructions that you get with Skull. They didn't bother redoing them. Frankly, I don't care. It's fine. It's the same transformation. But there you go. Some nice product shots down there. You get an idea of what we get. Nice pictures of the Gator mode. And I have decided that it is almost certainly an alligator, because crocodilians, or I should say rather, crocodiles have a thinner snout, so it's almost certainly going to be an alligator. So let's have a look at the Alligator mode. And he's got a lovely golden eye going on there, which is quite cool. You can see you can open and close his jaws there. It is just cast in red and blue, and it does have some silver paint. There's some silver around there on the waist. And again, just like the skull figure, the tail is very long, and I appreciate that. That looks very good. And it's pretty much the same on both sides, so you get the idea. Articulation in this mode. As you saw, way up, I've just popped his head off. Oh no, that's no good. Don't do that, don't do that. Oh dear, flipping it. Yeah, it's just on a couple of pegs. So yeah, you can open his jaws quite wide, but obviously not as wide as I tried to do them. You've got a ball joint here, so you can rotate the head here and here. So you can have him do what no crocodilian has ever done in its life, and you can have him look up. You've got this rotation joint here, or swivel joint I should say. This bicep joint, elbow joint, and then you can move the claws up and down also. And on the rear legs we have the same issue that we had with Skull, that this bit just doesn't really hold in, sadly. But again, that wood varnish will help. So you can rotate this part of the leg on this ball joint, and that is very stiff. You do have this joint here, and I have no idea why they put this here. It doesn't really make much sense because you don't use it at all. And then he has a joint here, and his foot is on a ball joint, but I'm not quite sure what's up with mine. The foot keeps coming off. While I was buying these from AliExpress, I got one for Optimus Prime as well, and his one is fine, but my one is just really, it's just bad. Also, my Skull is fine. It doesn't do it with Skull. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't cut that deep enough or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, during the transformation, that is going to pop off multiple times, so at least you'll know why. It's not meant to come apart there. But you can move the tail side to side a little bit, and you'll see for why in a minute. So yeah, that's about it for articulation in the crocodile mode. Pardon me, alligator mode. For comparison, here he is with Skull. So you can see it's the exact same figure from this side anyway. Yeah, there's no real difference in the moulding from in this mode. There is one more thing on this figure, and it is infuriating. You are supposed to be able to open this bit here, but it is really difficult. Really difficult. His tail's just popped off. Okay, never mind. I'm going to take it off in a minute anyway. Yeah, it's almost impossible to get hold of, so I've been just doing that. That's the only way I can get it open. And you can then put the little Headmaster inside. You can have him in a sort of a sitting pose, and he will go in. You can see they moulded a bit in there, but it's it's not too exciting. But there's a little bit in there, and you can just get him to sit in there, which is cool. And now I've closed that, I'm going to have to open it again. Oh no, it's not fun. Oh, did we get it? Did we get it? Oh, I've just pushed it back down. It's got to be an easier way. Yeah, so that's a slight frustration I have, but I have that frustration with the mould. It's not specific to this figure. So, yes. Alright then, I'm going to put the tail back on so we can take it back off again in a minute. Because of course. Right, let us do the transformation. Right then, so what you're going to do first is you're just going to come down to the tail section, and you are going to remove that. It just holds on with that there. Put that off to the side for the minute because we are going to need that shortly. Then you're going to untab these legs, so you just come to the underside really, and just sort of push them. And you can see there's a couple of tabs there that just go in there. Bring those down, and then split the legs. And then this bit is fun because when you get it, the legs are upside down, so I've had to put them the right way up. So what you need to do here is you need to rotate it up, and as you're rotating, you just... Told you it was going to come off, didn't I? As you're rotating, you just bring it around and then carry on just finishing in there like that. And then if you've got one that's got funky feet, just pop the foot back on. That is meant to end up being a heel for the figure, but as you saw, this just keeps popping off. And then you do the same on the other side. So just bring it, rotate it, bring it all the way around, rotate that foot, hopefully that one will stay on, yeah, and just sort of get it so it's relatively flush with the bottom of the foot there. Go back round to the front, and you're going to flip the tootsies down, rotate them, and these are a little bit loose. It's the same on the skull figure, to be fair, so again it's issue with the mould really. And then you come up to the head, and you can see there that it's just pegged in here and here, and you're just going to rotate it backwards. It's on a hinge. Just going to flip it down to his back like so. And let me just swap my camera around a bit, move my camera a bit, there we go. And then you just bring down the arms like so, and just orientate them correctly. And then lastly, you're just going to fold the claws under, so that flips the hand out. And then there's a little panel here, you're just going to bring that down, and there's a little tab that will just sort of rest in there. It doesn't actually tab in, which is a bit of a shame, because it would have been better if it tabbed in, because it does have a tendency when you're trying to put the weapons in the hand, it just sort of pushes the hand down, and you have to faff about with that clip again. So it's the same that side. Let's put that in there. And then lastly, you're going to take the Headmaster head and just going to head on like so. Just let's get these the right way around. Well, yeah, and that's basically it for the transformation. He does go backwards a little bit. He is a little bit back heavy. I found this with Skull as well, because he's got a big alligator head hanging off his back, so you have to sort of fiddle around with those heels a bit to get them in the right place. But once you've got it, he's pretty solid. He works quite well. So yeah, he's a nice looking figure. And then finally what you're going to do is you're just going to take these pieces for the tail, and you're just going to separate them. It's 3 pieces, so pop that off, and then you've got a sword. And then these 2 come apart also, and you've got another one of those blasters, but in blue. And this piece that you can't actually do anything with. It doesn't plug in anywhere or anything. There's no storage for it, so you just have to put it in a little baggie and put it to one side, I guess, because that's what I'll be doing. Yeah. So I will leave the weapons out, and we'll come back to those in a minute. But first, let's have a look at the figure. And yeah, as I said, I think they've done a really good job. It's not a huge amount of retooling. It's basically just this bit here, and the head, of course. But I mean, I think it's pretty good. I like the way it looks. It's a really cute little Prime. Yeah, let's get in. Let's have another quick look at that head. I know we've already looked at it, but now that it's actually on his shoulders, you get to see what I mean. There is some blue in there. I don't know if you can see it, trying to get it under the light. You can see it okay, but it's yeah, it's there. It's a metallic blue. It's really nice. We got some silver for the faceplate and just a bit up here. And then for the main body, we've got this gorgeous blue metallic blue going on there that just really makes the figure pop. And then we've got some silver around the midsection. Bit of yellow there, where yellow usually is on Prime. He does have some yellow here and here also. So they've definitely got all the Prime traits in there, even though it is just off this skull figure. But I think it works. I really do. I think it works really well. Oh, it's just the back. Not much going on there, really. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I really do. I think Mech Fans Toys have been coming out with some really good figures lately. I'm absolutely loving all of their Headmasters. But this is just... I think this was quite unexpected. I didn't see it coming anyway. But so articulation wise, you can't... The head isn't on a ball joint or anything. It's just on a swivel. I mean, it's a Headmaster, so, you know. You can use this transformation joint here if you want to move the arm in and out a bit more. But otherwise, it has rotation there. You can just, there is a ball joint on the inside there, actually, you can see it. So you get a fair amount of movement. You can even move the shoulders forward a wee bit, which is nice. It does have that upper bicep rotation and 90 degrees at the elbow. Nothing at the hand because of the way it transforms. Waist rotation. Legs forward. Legs back. Out to the side. Upper thigh rotation. He's got about just under 90 degrees, but if you pull that foot out, it will go all the way up. And his little tootsies are on a ball joint, but it's not really, it doesn't really do anything. Really, it's the feet at the back, the alligator feet, that are doing all the work there. But yeah, he's sweet. I really like him. Have I said how much I like him? Because I really like him. Right, so let's get to these. So he can hold these weapons. So well, let's give him the sword there. And you can either give him the blue tail section, or you can give him the sort of anthracite one that looks a little better. It looks a bit more sort of G1-y. So we'll give him that one. He'll hold either of them. They're both the same. So there we go. So he's got his weapons now. He's all ready to fight off the Combaticons. And I do have an MFT set of Combaticons that I think he'll look pretty good with. So yeah. So let's just bring in Skull again in his robot mode, and you can see the differences there. So as I said, they haven't retooled a huge amount. Oh, they have actually retooled this bit. I thought this bit was the same, but no, the ab section they have retooled. So it's basically they've retooled this whole front section here. But he still has these rib pieces like Skull has, and he doesn't have the tech spec thing like Skull does. Because if you pop this down on Skull, you get a tech spec. But everything else, I'm pretty sure, is the same. So let's bring in this Trax, a little MFT Trax, see how he scales. It's not too bad. That's all right. That works for me. I mean, I'm not a scale nut. I don't mind if things don't scale exactly, and just when you've got like a figure that size, you know, that's supposed to be Trax, and you've got like that doesn't work for me. But this is fine. This looks great. I'm all right with that. So yeah, I would absolutely 100%, if you're a G1 fan, and you love that episode, or even if you hate that episode, to be fair, this is such a great little figure. It's something different, and it's something that I would be surprised if we ever got from Hasbro. It's just great fun. Yeah, he's a decent size. Yeah, I love him. I think he's fantastic. So, but on that note, I guess that's it. As always, thanks for watching. Not my camera. Thanks for watching. I've got some more stuff coming up, so stay tuned for more MFT, and I've got some APC stuff as well that I need to review yet. But that's it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.